All right, Shalom. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the elect of Yasharallah, as well as the Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, preaching and prophesying through the spirit of YAHAWASHI in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations but are of the nation of Israel, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, on their father's side by blood. And, let me see. Oh, what did it say? What did it say? We'll have to display another level of boldness. Hey, the notification popped up, so I had to check it. But that's because we was kind of going through the spirit, man, and we was speaking on the process. You know what I'm saying? We were speaking on the process. When you get the etymology of it, it says a fact of being carried on, as in a process. It says a journey, a continuation, development, legal trial. And as the brothers in Des Moines just put up a lesson, and the title said we're going to have to display another level of boldness, right? Because can you get, I'm going to see if I can remember it. 2 Corinthians 4:17.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17, which says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worked for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal."
Yeah. So we're looking at, we're like I said, this is a journey, it's a process, all right? And we're looking forward to crossing those straits, man, and reaching that city that's built on the other side, all right? But because we talk about having spiritual power, tasting real food, having the best of the wines and the best of the spices and herbs, and the heathen being subject unto us, all right, clean air, we talk about these things, but there's a process that happens before all of that come about, man. All right, the fact that we fail, there was a process to that. It ain't like we just fell overnight. No, there was slowly but surely our people starting to keep the ways of the heathen. All right, to where now coming back to our power, we understand where we messed up at, but we still got to go through the process of getting back into his good graces, so to speak, right? So, which when you come to serve the Lord, you got to what? Prepare your soul for temptation. All right, this whole thing is a process, and I'm not going to just I'm going to try not to drag the word process out, but that's exactly what it is, though. It's because when you look up process, it goes also to proceed, which means to move in a certain direction, go about one's business, right? To emanate from, result from, to issue or come. It says, of course. It says to go before, go forward, advance, make progress. So you can't come here and just be here. You have to, can you get the scripture, die daily?
Okay.
That's the one I was looking for. I thought it was that one. Because you got it.
1 Corinthians 15:31, which says, "I protest by your rejoicing, which I have in Yahawashi Hamashiach our Lord. I die daily."
There's another one. Renewed day by day. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep. Let's see. This is 2 Corinthians 4, and it was the verse above.
It was 16?
Yep, it was 16. 4:16. It says, "For which cause we faint not." 2 Corinthians 4:16. "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day."
Yeah, we're getting older every day. We're getting older every day. Time is speeding up every day. We're getting closer to the end every day. But your inward man got to be renewed day by day. I did a lesson earlier this week on being committed on a daily, every day. If you do something towards YAHAWASHI every day, you can only progress. You can only proceed by it, which is moving forward, man.
I got precept.
Okay, go ahead.
Romans chapter 5, verse 3, which says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
Yeah, so we glory in tribulation. Right? And one of my favorite quotes, Latin phrases, is amor fati, which means the love of fate. Not in a sense of, oh, well, this is just life and this has happened. Oh, it's already written. Yeah, we know that. Things are prophesied. We understand that a man's goings is of the Lord, right? But amor fati within that Latin phrase is more of the characteristics that you're working on. It's the opportunity that life gives you to work on that. Like I said, we glory in tribulation, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. That what it said?
Yeah, kind of tribulation.
That tribulation worketh patience, meaning you're going through a trial, that fiery trial. But going through that process, right? Well, going through the process of a fire, either what does it do? What does it do? It purges. Okay? Gold has to go into the fire in order to become pure. So do acceptable men. All right? So but when you're in there and you, that's hot, hey, I'm sure we all done ran that bath water too hot. You know what I'm saying? But you slowly get in there, and as you in there, you become one with the water, man. Okay? Now you have the patience. It's not like the temperature went down, but it's more like you adapted to the temperature. All right? And that's what we got to do. We got to adapt to these things that come to us on a daily. Right? Demons constantly plaguing your mind, your woman tripping, your kids tripping, your job tripping, yeah, so whoever, you know what I'm saying? Even brothers, you know? And that's why it's imperative that Elder Yashawama said something a while ago, and I'm gonna try to see if I can remember it. But I would love to go and find it. But he pretty much said if everybody do their part, then there is no problem. Something along that line, you know. But it's hard because we in this flesh. But you either care or you don't at the end of the day. You know, either care or you don't at the end of the day, because we're all going through trials and we're all going through tribulations. You're going through what you can go through to build up what you need to build up so you can get ready for this fucking war that we about to go through. Jacob's trouble, this is the beginning of sorrows. You know, it spoke about wars and rumors of wars, all right, and nation against nation and things. And it said these are the beginning of sorrows. There ain't a famine yet. You can still go to work. You can still buy a fucking Camaro if you want. You know, even though cars aren't selling like they once, because nobody has the money to buy them. And the car lot they don't want to lose too much in value because they don't see that this ship is sinking. They're still putting duct tape on the holes. They're still trying to do what they can to keep this thing afloat, man. All right? You can still go to the grocery store. You can still go on vacation. But all of that shit is shutting down. Bit by bit. Gradualism. It's all shutting down. And that's why what we read earlier in verse 17 of 2 Corinthians 5, was it 5 or 4? 4.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
You know, it said we look at something eternal, not temporal, man. All of this is temporal. So that's why if you, it said, he that beareth not his cross daily, you know, you gotta bear your cross. And I forget what it said. What else it said after that? It was something else after that. Let me see, because I don't want to butcher that at all. This is Luke 9:23. It says, and he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. So you got to deny yourself. Be selfless, man. Not selfish, okay? You got to deny yourself because the Lord is putting you through things and other brothers through things so we can all meet at the rally point. You know, if you don't make it, just look at it like in the middle of the circle is where we all got to meet. All around that circle at that meeting point, you got all these different doors, right, that brothers got to go through. Everybody got to go through due process in order to get to the middle so we can all go to war, man. If you can't get through what you're supposed to, and it's for you. So you can't say, oh, your level was easier. Oh, this and there. No, this is for you. You got to make it through that, man. All right? Let's finish this first.
Okay. It says, Romans 5 and verse 3, it says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience.
And patience experience, because when you experience something, you try it out. And guess what? It becomes easier. You're no longer as nervous. So you have more patience. At a point in time you came into this, you was up on the highways and people looking at you and talking shit and, hey, I know you, hey. And after a while, it was nothing. You know? You was probably nervous going out there your first couple times. Man, I'm about to write all this down. I'm about to go over the laws. And then over time, the Spirit started working with you more and more because you had experience. Right? That's what this is. All of this is growth, man. Go ahead.
And experience hope.
And experience hope. So once you make it through all of that, it breeds hope, man. All right? The Lord has to put you through things so he can build up your patience, build up your discipline, all right? Build up your spirit so you can have hope, so you can be faithful in Jacob's trouble.
And that's the whole point of, like, people saying trust the process. You go through that phase of it being ugly and it being rough, and it's like, and that's why people say while it's not working out, trust the process, because it's gonna lead to something better. Yeah,
bro, this shit is gonna get ugly if you can't overcome the small things, man. I don't want to. I ain't gonna say I want to, but it's hard. It's easier said than done, man. They try to give me the chip, man. I'm gonna tell them you know what I'm saying. I'm going to give them the finger and say, kill me. You know what I'm saying? That shit sounds good, but it's different when you've been in the dark for 3 days and you ain't ate. Mm-hmm. When you're being tortured, man. That's why we got to trust in YAHAWASHI. And the Lord already showed us what is possible with the woman and her 7 sons. They was tortured, but they endured it, man. All right, because they looked not at the things that was temporal, but at the things that was eternal. All right.
A quick precept, Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7 says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. So like you make no tarrying to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day.
There you go. That's beautiful. I needed that precept. Send me that right now. What was that, Sirach 5 and 7? I needed that the other day for my lesson. But yeah, tarry not to turn to the Lord. Oh, I'm going to get to it. That's why I told these brothers. I'll be honest. I was like, yo, we going to get this lesson? He was like, yep, con. They started doing other stuff. Hey, that's probably why the Lord had it, you know, he's like, hey, just set it up straight. But we was just talking about the zeal of Peter. You know, he wasn't always timely with his decisions, man, but it's the fervency and the passion that he had towards it, man. You know? And I'm not saying I got as much as him, but I'm like, yo, we need to get this lesson. We need to get a lesson out, man. Okay? And it should be like that on a daily. You might not hit it every daily. Like I told him, I was like, hey, you know, we was about to go, you know, do something together. I'm like, hey, I need to do a lesson, though. I got to do a lesson. I ain't did one in like 2 days, you know? And the Spirit is feeding us, all right?
It says, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Read that again.
Start from back from the top. Sirach 5 and 7 says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, And in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you hide in that tower. Because it said the Lord's coming like a thief in the night. All right? Yeah, we have signs, but you sit here and act like you got more time than you have, and then the Lord start having things pop off. You going to get caught up in your security, thinking you all good. Oh, I got time. That's why you got to self-examine. You know, whether you be in the faith. All right? Every day. You know? We can't do the same shit and expect different results. Life just doesn't work like that. Guess what? Progress doesn't work like that. You can't go through the same process and expect different results.
I have one more.
Let's bring it out, bro.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 through 16. It says, "See that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil."
Exactly. Walking circumspectly, knowing your surroundings, knowing the state of your flock. You know, yesterday, me and my son went to go grab something to eat, and I said, I'm about to sneak up on him and see if he observing. That boy dozing off. You could have got, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, making sure you being circumspect, watching your surroundings, watching how you operate around other people, how people operate around you. Definitely what's going on in the world, read, watching, and praying. All right. All of this, we're going through all of this so the Lord can get us prepared, man. And the thing is, the Lord gonna keep picking at you. If the Lord wants you, he gonna get you. And the more you fight against him, the worse it's gonna get. You don't want him to throw that cold ass water on you while you sleep. You rather him just come in there and, hey, it's time to get up. Hey, it's time to get up. You're like, oh, okay, you don't want to get up. He come in there, he starts setting alarms, and you sleeping through the alarm. Then he gonna throw that water on you, and you gonna be fucking shocked as hell. Or he's gonna snatch the mattress from under you, man.
Damn.
Man, crucial. But he's giving you many opportunities. Like it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. You know, it says, seek the Lord while he may be found. All right?
Yeah, even that you mentioned that, in Ephesians 5 and 16 in the NLT, it says, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days.
Mm-hmm. Because it's not going to get easier, and the days are not going to get better. They're only going to get darker. So you got to be able to constantly gather your oil so you have enough oil, all right, when it's time for that marriage. So you ain't got to go get no oil, because this word's about to shut down. There's about to be a famine of this word, most definitely. And the Lord is showing his men that. That's why that spirit is out there. Brothers are mentioning it more. Like it was on us, the spirit was on Apostle Tahar to have brothers put out a lesson every day, starting with 3 videos a day. Then he constantly was mentioning, hey, you should be putting out a lesson every day. You know, so if you saying 100 brothers putting out a lesson every day for a week, that's 2,100 videos. If my
seven brothers putting out a video, so that's
700 times.
700.
Damn.
700 brothers doing.
That's
a video
almost
a day.
500.
700 brothers do a video.
No,
every day.
did I say 700?
Oh,
I said 100 brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100 brothers put up a video a day. So
That's 700 videos.
yeah,
That's a lot.
every for the whole week. Yeah, time.
Yeah.
Damn, where my math at? I'm tripping.
Or my man.
I don't know why I was thinking 7 times 7.
Hey,
You
I
know?
don't know, bro.
Fuck it, it's all good. But I think I said 7 brothers put up a lesson. Yeah, I was thinking 7 times 7 times 7, and I think that's where I got 3. So 700 videos a week. You know, well, let's times that by 4. Now you got 2,800, almost 3,000 videos in a month.
Yep.
You know, if you times that by 12, then you got almost
36.
36, damn near 40,000 videos.
And that's just that example. There's so many.
No, that's just 100 brothers.
It's just
Exactly,
100 brothers.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's way more. Yeah.
Like there's so
You know?
many brothers pushing
But this
out,
is how the Lord had all of this producing, man.
which means that there's no excuse. The light is shining. The light is on the hill.
Yeah,
And you miss it at this point.
but you gotta make sure you doing your part, because we are servants. We are ministers, man.
Okay.
You know, we are ministers. All right, that is part of our job. Like I said, you might not get a video every day, but the day you that's why it's a body, man. You know, if everybody's doing their part, you know, you miss a day, brother. Well, there's sometimes brothers put up multiple lessons in a day.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so let's look at it like that. Brother put up but you can't be like, well, he put up 3 lessons, so he kind of covered mine. No, man, that's why the scriptures say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah.
All right, it's on you. What are you going to do to reach your salvation? Go ahead.
Okay.
It's Acts chapter 20, verse 28, which says, "Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves and to all the flock over the which the Holy Spirit had made you overseers, to feed the church of the Most High, which he had purchased with his own blood." You know, so there's an individual responsibility that each and every one of us have. Yeah, it's a body, but we're parts of that body. So we're letting, you know, ourselves descend into, you know, unhealthiness. You know, like, you know, you're still, your part is unhealthy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean because the rest of the body is healthy, you don't have a bad finger or whatever. You know, so that's why it says take heed to yourselves and the flock.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you want to make sure you're doing your part so the body is ran properly. You know what I'm saying? That's why when it comes to like diseases and cancer that spread, they like, yo, we got to cut that off.
Exactly.
We don't need it to affect the whole body. And that happens occasionally when brothers are not doing their part, or they feel like they are the part, you know? Then hey, you can't be here because you're gonna affect the rest of what's going on. You're gonna corrupt the whole system in a sense, if it was possible, I would say, because at the end of the day, the chosen are the chosen. But you know, just speaking on everybody doing their part, man.
It's more to that.
No, that's it.
It's Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15. It says, "But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love."
And there you go, to the building up of itself. Let's look up that word fitly, right? Because we can't sit here and act like the Lord makes mistakes. Like he don't put certain people in certain position to get the job done, right? It's just like certain players who once was a quarterback or a wide receiver, or they played a certain position in high school. When they go to college, they play a different position. Or when they're in college and then they go to the pros, they play a different position. It's wherever that system needs you. They know the game, so they know where they need you at. It kind of reminded me of this show I was watching, All American, which was based off of a true story, where he was a dominant wide receiver, and then he ended up switching schools, and he like, look, I need you to play safety. He like, what? I ain't come here to play no defense. And he's like, well, you gonna play what I want you to play, or you can go on the other side of that line. And it's like that. I know where I need you. And him playing defense, it helped him win games. You know, yeah, you're going to get your time with receiver, but right now I need you to do what I need you to do. And the Lord puts us in those positions at some time because he knows what it takes to get the job done. All right?
In a linear, it puts it all together, fitly framed together. Strong's G 4883, which says to join closely together, to frame together parts of a building, the members of the body.
Yeah, and what building are we? We're the third temple, man. Lively stones being built on the foundation of YAHAWASHI, man. All right, and like I said, being close together. Like when you're looking at building, everything is compacted. Now, what is compacted with in between is what? It's brick and mortar, right? You got that plaster. You got that which what makes it stick together, okay? Which at the end of the day, that's the spirit. If you're not in the spirit, then how are you gonna, you're gonna be a loose brick. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep this thing tight, fitly joined, close together, okay?
I wanted to get that 1 Corinthians 12 and 21, I believe. Trying to find it. I was looking up a word as I was listening to brothers, they Shalom Yahawashim Shabbat QADASH Barakatham to you, Akim, by the way. Let's say 1 Corinthians 12 and 21. And before I get that, I want to bring out this word in 12 and 20, actually. But I was looking up this word. I referenced a lot as homeostasis. Okay? It says tendency towards stability among interdependent elements. And when you go to that word interdependent, it means individual elements working together. Okay, so again, it says tendencies towards stability among interdependent elements. Homeo or similar stasis means standing. So you all are working towards one goal. Now, what it means to be one body. It doesn't mean that everybody's doing the same thing. One person's chopping up food, one person's washing the food, one person preps the food, one person cooks the food, one person sets the plate, some person sets the table. That's a homeostasis. Not everybody chopping together. Not everybody. That's not a homeostasis. That's why that when YAHAWASHI had people that were scouts, had people that were the head, they had people that were, the treasurer. There's lots within the system. And so within that lot, you have to be in a homeostasis of understanding that you're working towards a main system. And that's why I want to bring out 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and 20, if y'all haven't gotten that already.
I got you. 1 Corinthians 12 and 20 says, but now are the many members, yet but one body.
No, it's like I probably got to, we go up to 18. It's like.
All right. 1 Corinthians 12 and 18. But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them in the body, as it hath pleased him.
Yeah, so we all have our lots. So you can't look at one person and say, I want to do their job. Look at another person, I want to do their job, or only if that was me. The Lord put you at where you're at, and you should want to be efficient towards his ministry in that regard.
Yeah. And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body.
Yeah, it's many members, meaning you got many offices, many positions, but there's one purpose. The body forms one purpose. The leg and the left leg and the right leg, the pinky toe to the big toe, everything has its office. The pinky toe to the toes, to the ankles, to the knees, to the hips, all that gets you to walk. The brain, the blood circulating, all of this does what? Perform one purpose. Now, if the legs start complaining and saying, well, the heart think he's important. I want to do what the heart's doing, then who's going to do what the leg is doing?
Yep.
Hey,
real quick, that new Power Ranger, or the newest Power Ranger movie that came out, when they had made the Megazord, and the ones that was the legs, they wasn't on one accord at first, and they just trying to step when they wanted to step, and they ended up falling. It's like, you can't take down an enemy doing what you want to do on your own time. You got to work together.
Yeah.
It's verse 21. It says, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, but much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary.
Yeah, everybody have their place no matter how high or how low. So when you get in a space of trying to contend for positions and do things instead of prophesying, man, keep in order and prophesying and doing what the body needs to be done. We're out here to bid to the marriage as the body. So to be a person that's holding up a sign, bringing out a precept, you're supposed to be efficient at that. Because if I'm a track star and my body works individually, to have good joints is important. Yeah. To have good flexibility. To have strong, explosive muscles is important. To have enough heart power to pump blood to the muscles to keep you going. To have enough lung power. To have enough mental focus. Breathing abilities. You know what I'm saying? To be relaxed enough. Like, all these things play a part to running. How much more in this truth? And if the muscles say, well, damn, you getting all the glory, skin, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get the glory.
Well, the Cowboys back in the 90s, when they started getting on a roll and winning championships, the owner and the coach started bumping heads because one was getting more glory than the other. And they tried to put their difference aside in public, but behind closed doors, they just wasn't getting along, and that was the end of that dynasty.
Yeah, and that happens. You get the Backstreet Boys, and then Jackson 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it don't work how like the Jackson. You're not gonna emerge as Michael Jackson out of the situation. The body just you ain't gonna emerge better than what you are.
Yeah.
But within. To make it relative to the scriptures, it says it's better to go to the kingdom halt and maimed.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to deal without an arm. You might have to deal without a leg if it's slowing you down towards the goal. So no matter where we are on a totem pole, we're on it, and we need to play our part, and not play our part how we want to play it. We have to play it according to the will of the Heavenly Father and what He needs out of the body. Okay. We're a body, because if you sitting here and somebody's speaking, you're supposed to be ready with them precepts, man. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, I got a point to make too. If everybody got a point, like the precepts aren't coming out, the definitions aren't coming out. The homeostasis is non-existent. There's no interdependent elements moving towards one direction.
Man, I gotta find that, bro. Because the scriptures say that right there. It's 1 Corinthians 14 and 24. It says, but if all prophesy, and there come in one that believeth not, or one unlearned, he is convinced of all, he is judged of all. And thus are the secrets of his heart made manifest, and so falling down on his face, he will worship the Most High, and report that the Most High is in you of a truth. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you hath the psalm, hath the doctrine, hath a tongue, hath the revelation, hath an interpretation? Let all things be done unto edifying.
Yeah. So not to be, you're supposed to, get the job done and not be seen. That's why it says, be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. But because you got something to say don't mean you have to say something and something's already being said.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? And it's far beyond just saying something. It's just, your lot, within this system. We are a part of an ecosystem, and all of us have a part to play. Some of us are bees, some of us is dirt, some of us is grass, some of us is the water, but it makes a beautiful ecosystem. And that's how this ministry works,
Yeah.
And it takes order and appreciating your lot, and as long as you give all your praises and your first fruits unto YAHAWASHI, you have nothing to brag about. So you have nothing to want and desire.
Let me get this real quick.
Okay.
It's 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's all in the same chapter. It's because it's contextual. You know what I'm saying? That it creates a homeostasis, and you may not understand it, so it's just best to be in order. Don't question it. Just try your best to execute it to how that person said it wants to be done.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, which says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us.
Yeah, so that's what it's all about. We have these treasures in these earthen vessels, which is us, but it's all towards the excellency of the Most High. So why would you at any point say, well, what about me? And it wasn't even about you when you was here. It ain't about none of us.
Yeah.
It's to the excellency of YAHAWASHI. When we preach something and it's accurate and it's waking up many people, it's all praise to the Lord, because they're going to the Lord. They ain't coming to you. You know, everybody got to bow under General Yahanna. Like, Yahanna only going to get you so far. YAHAWASHI is the one that's going to deliver us and give us everlasting life and salvation. Yahanna has no power over that. And it's not a lesson on him. I'm just saying that based off that mentality of thinking the work you put in makes you significant. Because when that missile drops, you're not going to do anything to make us pass through the fire. There's no physical ability or spiritual power that you will have unless it comes from the Lord. But there's nothing that you ain't gonna be able to go in your backyard and come up with a wetsuit that we could pass through the fire in. So why are you in any position to think you're somebody? That's why the scripture said, if a man think himself to be something and he is not, he deceiveth his own soul.
Yes, sir.
So it's very important to remain humble and contrite and abound in the Lord without trying to receive glory for that action.
Yeah, he that humbleth himself is exalted.
Yeah. Let another man praise thee.
Yep.
You know, and even in that praise, you're supposed to be like, hey, it's called Lord Yabashimi Al-Shai.
Yeah.
You know, I'm immediately chuck it straight up to him. Hot potato.
I had anything else?
I don't know
Gone. Hey, so with that, once again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and blessing salutations unto all the Akim out there enduring his truth across the four corners of the earth, as well as the men and women that follow. Hey, shalom.
Shalom.